Well, it looks like the United States might invade Greenland. Today, when asked how far he would go to acquire Greenland, Trump said, "You'll find out." He doesn't appear to be backing down on the matter. So, what exactly is Greenland anyway? Greenland is an autonomous territory of the Kingdom of Denmark. Every citizen of Greenland is a citizen of Denmark, as well as the European Union. This means they get things like universal health care, a stronger social safety net, and operate under stricter regulatory laws than the United States. In other words, they have it a lot better than US citizens, and losing that would not be a good deal for them. They also do not want to become part of the US. Denmark has made it extremely clear to the US that invading Greenland would be the end of NATO. Denmark is a NATO ally, and we would be attacking one of our own allies. Denmark and other European countries, including Germany, France, and the UK, have sent soldiers to Greenland to signal an intention to defend it and instructed Greenlanders to begin preparing for a possible invasion. So, why does Trump want Greenland so bad? Well, he keeps saying it's for national security and talking about their rare earth. He claims that if we don't take Greenland, China or Russia will, and that it's integral for his Golden Dome, a concept he is hoping to implement modeled after Israel's Iron Dome, despite the fact that there hasn't been a missile heading our way in a long time. JD Vance said recently that the Danish need to take the security of that landmass more seriously, or the US is going to have to do something about it. This makes it seem like our interest is purely paternalistic, being fine with not necessarily owning Greenland as long as its stewards do what the Trump administration feels is necessary to keep us safe. But there are no indications that China or Russia want to take over Greenland or that there's any reason for them to launch a missile at us from across the world. We're the ones that are invading other countries and kidnapping presidents in the middle of the night. So is that the real reason we want Greenland? Why does Trump keep mentioning rare earth? And what is rare earth? Whenever he talks about it, it almost sounds like something he just made up. But it is real. There are 17 rare earth elements with names you've probably never heard of, like neodymium, lanthanum, and promethium. They're not scarce on our planet, but they are very difficult to extract and purify because they're usually found mixed with other minerals and metals, sometimes even radioactive ones like uranium. China mines 60% and processes 90% of these metals on Earth. In other words, they have complete dominance over these resources, giving them the upper hand in global trade. The problem with invading Greenland for the rare earth is that it's very difficult logistically to mine and probably ultimately wouldn't be worth it. Then there's Trump's truth from today. He posted a screenshot of a tweet that says China and Russia are the boogeymen when the real threat is the UN and NATO. This is starting to feel like the real reason he wants to invade Greenland is to get us out of NATO. The US House of Representatives passed legislation called the NATO Support Act in 2019 that would bar Trump from using federal funds to withdraw from NATO. It didn't pass in the Senate, but the point is, Trump has been trying to pull the US out of NATO for a long time against immense opposition. In 2023, bipartisan legislation authored by Senators Tim Kaine and now Secretary of State Marco Rubio, requiring 2/3 Senate approval or authorization via an act of Congress, was passed in the fiscal year 2024 National Defense Authorization Act. So Trump cannot easily remove us from NATO, but what he can do is piss off the other countries enough that NATO effectively falls apart. And that is what I would like to posit to you as the most likely reason for his behavior right now, in addition to cognitive deterioration. I'm not here to opine on NATO. I think the Russian invasion of Ukraine was absolutely awful and should be opposed. And I also believe the genocide of Palestinians is the most horrific crime of my lifetime. And I've witnessed NATO member countries be inconsistent on both. I don't think this is acceptable. As long as the US is in NATO, it doesn't really make sense because we are an imperialist nation. And a truly defensive alliance should not have members engaging in offensive actions. It should seek to maintain peace, and I mean the true definition of peace, not peace through strength. If anything, Trump's brash actions are revealing the inconsistencies and the hypocrisy of the so-called international rules-based order. Russia, Israel, and the US should all be held to account for their imperialist violence, but perhaps this is hoping for too much. What I will say is that I wouldn't doubt Trump in regards to invading Greenland. I fully believe he will do it. But it all depends on how bad the consequences be, and all of that feels very up in the air right now. For more daily news and commentary, I stream on Twitch most days, Monday through Friday. Give this video a like if you can, and subscribe on YouTube.